I can't believe that you did all that while you were still in space over that period of time, and you're beaming it back on low bandwidth, but it's still getting there back to Earth.
What you do is, I mean, you work 16-hour days, but we sort of have a union, the astronauts union, where we've said we've got to get a certain amount of protected time, go to the bathroom, eat, but also for sleep. And what I decided was I don't want to come back from 6 months in space thinking, well, I didn't get much done, but boy, I'm well rested. I just didn't think that was the way to go. I thought every night that I have a little bit of extra energy, I'm going to steal some of my designated sleep time to do the cool and personal stuff, to write and to write music. I wrote and recorded an album. And so late at night, when everybody was supposed to be asleep, with the door closed on my little sleep pod, I would have that small guitar in there, and you couldn't even put it horizontal because there wasn't enough room. And I would write and record music, and so I just had to squeeze it all in. But when we did come back and rolled to a stop, I felt like it was everything I could have wrung out of myself and wrung out of the experience. I'd done the whole thing. I just don't know how I could have executed it any more completely than I did. To me, that's a little bit how I conduct life. But definitely, when you're doing something that is rare and unique and something that you've worked towards a lot of your life, you try and fill every unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run because then the rest of your life that can be one of those things you look back on. And yeah, and a lot of people would say, oh, well, what were you doing making music videos? You should have been working. We set records for the amount of science done per hour, per day, per week on the space station. No previous crew had been as productive as we were. And 4 days before we came home, when we had this major ammonia leak emergency, we still had the capacity to surge and work super long hours and to be able to do an emergency walk outside and save this whole space station. So yeah, to me, it was a balance, but I worked hard to balance it right. And to have, in amongst all the other things, to have that version of Space Oddity is just a treasure for me personally, but for a lot of people, the way that they see spaceflight as a result.
It's so unique, and I think in the past we've sent these things into outer space, like records and all these things that show human existence. But I think your video has got to be right up there in one of the things we would love for forms of life to see, because they would see that and be like, wow, those humans are really taking things to the next level.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all real,
Yeah.
that's just, I've spoken obviously to so many people since my third space flight, but the perception that I have is that people see spaceflight a little more clearly, because it's not just me telling them about it or showing a graph or just a snapshot, but this is our artistic expression in an entirely new environment where the world is turning silently next to you and you're weightless, which is just so much different than the normal earthbound experience. And it gives people much more of a visceral, intuitive feel for what it would be like for them to be living on a spaceship. And so that's kind of a lovely side effect of having put that video together.
Yeah, and I mean, I just watched it back a few minutes ago, and I mean, even the tone of your voice, I don't think you would have gotten that if you were at a recording studio in Los Angeles. Like, for some reason, you had to be up there, right? You had to be
Yeah,
there.
weightlessness has an effect on you, psychological, of course, but also physiological. There's no gravity to push your diaphragm down at the bottom of your lungs, and there's no gravity to drain your sinuses.
Ah,
So your sinuses are always kind of clogged up. It's as if you always have a bit of a head cold, and it's hard to get a full breath because there's no natural gravity pushing the fluids down in your body. So it's a weird place to sing. Definitely a strange place to play guitar. You got to sort of reteach yourself how to play guitar. But I think it made it easier to hit the high notes just because of the physiological changes going on. And there's a lot of high notes in Oddity, especially in the chorus, so that was a little bit of a benefit.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.